Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in and check out your board. Oh, we got a good lesson today. I'm about to have some fun. Check out the hat. When you see this triangle up there, you know it's about to be some lesson given from the book. Okay, that's the first sign. Let's go. Rightism. Start my lesson out. Rightism. 25 rules to live by. Storytelling. Story with a message. There's a message in my stories. For life, I give life lessons. You tune in to receiving them. I appreciate you. We got a good thing going. Let's do what we do. Right thinking mission, and I'm on it, is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right thinking's way of life through mental and spiritual discipline. Practice daily will help and guide you to attain your goal of reaching spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. My mission is that all right thinkers know thyself. If you're a right thinker, your goal is to know thyself. See where we're going with this? Let's get that together. So I asked the question, do you know you? You will when I'm through. Yeah, that's what I do for you. It's rhetorical. And if you know how to answer it for yourself, tune in. I got you. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple. But you can teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. I appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believe and think that they know is dangerous, avoid them. I do. A person who knows and knows not that they know is spiritually asleep. I can awaken them. I'm your spiritual alarm clock, here to wake you up with knowledge of self. That's what I do for you. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinkers, know thyself and to Maya, be true. We're going to talk ancient philosophy. Remember, this is a philosophy. And she taught Nana. We talking about God. We didn't have the word God didn't exist in our ancient time. Netta meant God. Supreme being meant, Neberdjer meant, let me break it down for you. I'm trying to talk. I can just read from the book. This is a good lesson. This is the first great truth about right thinking philosophy, aka she taught Netta. We need to understand that men and women are to become God-like. How? Good question. Through a life of righteousness and virtue and the cultivation of the spirit through what? Scientific knowledge, practice, and bodily discipline. This is a philosophy that says you can become God by doing these things. I'm not preaching to you. I'm not trying to brainwash you, bull trap you. I'm giving you a simple philosophy that I practice. Simple. And then watch this. Break it down real quick before you get started. If you keep telling me because you got God, Allah, and Ishkabib, and Yahweh, I don't give a damn what you call God. The essence of him, we way past that. God is spirit, life, and consciousness. That's what we have as human beings. He gives us that. The body is the vehicle in which we can exercise that right in this form. Spiritual beings having the human experience for the purpose of what? Waking up the spirit, becoming conscious, waking it up again, remembering itself, so what? It can go home. It's a simple concept. You ain't got to like it, believe it. I could care less. It's a philosophy that I practice. Moving on. So that's when it got that way. So we know God real well. Watch. Let me show you. Neberdjerism. Y'all call it religion, whatever. But it's an African religion that we practice, that we live by daily. Like other African religions, it espouses what? The teachings that there is one supreme being manifesting in the form of lesser beings with lesser powers. This is the concept. Again, I'll be breaking it down to you. See right here at top? This is God. No face. This God. That represents the Netta. That's God. This is the symbol of him. Everything that these are all us. These are all aspects of your character, some elements. But that's what God represents. None of them are God. They emanations from God. God is the one, undescribable, all that good stuff. Okay, so understand that we knew that a long time ago. Where we at? We knew that the lesser gods, which lesser powers, but they do what? They do the work, the elements of sustaining creation. Air, sun, fire, those are all elements put there by God. Again. And the concept, here we go, the concept that African religion is polytheistic, is asinine, is false. And because of what? The misunderstanding. And some fabrication by who? Those people who don't either understand what they're talking about mainly. This goes on for, what's this? This goes on for the Yoruba religion, the Dogon spirituality. They haven't changed their belief system since they started. They don't care who come in. They don't care what they do. They're not deviating for what works for them. Simple. That's how it's supposed to be done. You got the Yoruba, the Dogon spirituality, and you got other similar African systems or religions where what? Where practitioners appropriate the lesser divinities to what? Lead themselves up to the higher supreme being, to get to God. You got to go through all these aspects. To know thyself, you got to perfect every aspect of your character. They taught that ancient time. I'm teaching it now, and everybody freaking out. What the hell you talking about? All these people do funny hair stuff. Okay, see? Misunderstanding. And then they talk about it. Instead of questioning and asking and finding out, they got their own opinions, which got to be wrong. Why? Because they don't know. If you have an opinion about something you don't know, shut up. Why? It's invalid. Find out. And then your opinion will count. Observe. Pay attention, reflect on it, learn it, and now you got an opinion. But if you don't do those things, shut up about anything. Not just religion and other people, yourself. Start with that. But you got all these different religions. They all had the same thing, right? They promote lesser divinity to get to high. Who what? Who is God is abstract. That's why. And cannot be touched with thought. You can't touch God in your mind. You first need to have what? Something that you can touch, tangible, with a thought, idea, comprehension, okay? A story, a myth, okay? Theology, concepts, that's all you got to work with. That's the basis of foundation, again. And what's this? When you can't touch your thought, you can't see it with your eyes, your senses, you can't feel it. But to purify you, to help you to grow in what? Your devotion also and knowledge about what? Spirit. What spirit? God. Spirit. Duality. You get and understand God. And what's this? Spiritual enlightenment, meaning you get knowledge of God. You enlightening to God. This all fits if you understand it. Thus, what's this? So this then what prepares you, in life to experience what? Your higher mystical experience. However, again, religion, anything. First degree, first lesson is the myth. Second, the ritual. Third, if you practice this myth and understand it, reflect on it, and implement it, you will have a mystical experience. The Kundalini serpent will arise when you do what? Righteous and virtuous actions. It knows. You think? Yes, it do. However, realize that in Africa, as well as Eastern religion, most of them, when situations occur that cause a disruption in the culture, okay, it create conditions that will what? Prevent the native tradition from being practiced. It's done went astray. They don't start to either take away or add on, but it ain't, like my man said, it ain't blue magic. Once you tamper with it, it's no longer blue magic. Okay? It's no longer original or authentic if you change it. Such, watch this, wars, the destruction of their societies, the removal of religious authorities, and the imposition of what? New religious concepts. Practitioners often let go of what? The higher principles. If you got to sacrifice your morals and principles, I'm not dealing with that. Why? I'm not going to do that. Simple. Okay? And practices that's not the original. And watch this. Now, these can become forgotten after a long period. What happens? Then, now the original teachings have become lost, distorted, or corrupted. Hence, we got the Bible. Moving on. Now, while the ritual, again, they still got the rituals, they're still practiced, misinterpreted, but they're still being practiced to keep it going. But this can be seen, what? throughout areas where here they go, that word, orthodox Western religions have sought to force people to what? Adopt Western religion. Christianity is everywhere. Why? Nobody adopted it. It was forced on everybody. What kind of religion forces itself on people? Not my eye. Not right there. Philosophy, I don't force on nobody. Moving on. And to practice this, you got to give up what you already have. I ain't taking nothing away from you. I'm here to add on. Again, that's good is always bountiful, plentiful. Not taken away. I don't never take. I'm a giver. And now to get to the great truth in this personal concept, the first step in right thinking, she taught another philosophy, the supreme being the one. I've been telling you that for the longest, okay? But now, let them tell you. I'm going to read it to you nice and simple. Okay, perfect. Neberdjer. We didn't have God. Remember, Neberdjer. What does Neberdjer mean? Neberdjer means all-encompassing. Circle. Everything in there is his. All divinity. All-inclusive. All-embracing. Spirit. Again, life. He embraces life. That's what he gives. And which what pervades all. And who is what? The ultimate essence of all creation. We know him now as God in our time. Ancient time, it was Neberdjer, Panetta, okay, Father God. And I love at my church, my pastor, mother, the elders of the church, when she taught, she said, Father God. She said, Father God. She called him that. She said, Father God. That means she embraced him as her father. That's okay. That's fine. That's the interpretation you're supposed to have with God. Excuse me, I get a little excited. But that's what spirituality is about. Even if that's what you believe it in all sincerity. Don't, you either in or you're out. You're atheist, okay? Whether you're theist or atheist. With it or not with it. Simple as that. That never works. That's called being confused. And that's okay. Now what? Get knowledge so you can make a better decision. Well, y'all said you got a choice, but without knowledge, it's hard to make a good choice. You can make the choice, but it might not benefit you. Always good to make what? The choice that's going to benefit you. That choice didn't benefit me at all. Not one. Well, in experience, yeah. In learning what not to do, oh, hell yeah. They taught me a great lesson. See, you take that negative and put something to it to make it beneficial to work for you. When I was doing it, yeah. But now to understand it, I wouldn't want nobody to do that. I wouldn't want them my kids. My son don't sell drugs. My grandkids ain't into drugs. They're good people. Moving on. I'm going to get this Neberdjer thing. Remember, God, and we're going to give God in a whole few different ways. I've got that for you coming up. Neberdjer is closely associated with the divinity we call Khepri. That's the guy with the scarab beetle here. Wow. The scarab beetle lay eggs in dung. You know what dung is? Feces. Shit. Okay? They are the garbage disposal of the junk. Without them, the ecosystem would not work. That's how much respect they have for the scarab, the dung beetle, they call it. They had the eggs, lay them in dung, they push the dung, follow to keep the sun moisten it, keep it heating up. They push it, they go from east to west, following the sun all day, backwards. So they got a whole bunch of things that makes them unique, and they use that as a symbol of God. That's how we use the different headdresses to symbolize that gift that the animal had that we can use and emulate to be like that. Hope you understand it. It's all conceptual. But Khepri, again, is the creator, the morning sun. He's that sunrise. Khepri, the sun, is the first aspect of Ra. Okay? This we are to understand that from all-encompassing divinity, the Neberdjer, there arises a creative principle, and that principle, again, is the divine will of God, who is Khepri, the scarab beetle, who brings itself into creation, into being, self-created, so to speak. That's how they look at it. We come from shit. How about that? Yeah, we originated the dumb beetle. We in the world of shit. Okay, come out of it, break out of it. And when we come out, now we're into the real world, so to speak. And we can do a little better than what we come out of. So it ain't where you start, it's where you're in. Okay? So that's the concept. And they had it figured out. The great divinity who brought its own form into being hence self-creator. So when they ask the question, well, who God? Who created God? Who's God's mother? Had none. No beginning, no end. That's why the circle represents God. You don't know. Once this point starts and you go around with the compass and you end back here, take the compass away, all you got what? Is a dot. That's you. But the circle, that's God. Circumscribe. Okay, stay in due bounds with who? With God. I taught that philosophy for years, the Masonic rhythm, in a whole different aspect. Now I see it totally, oh man, it's unbelievable. But yeah, they give you options to take it symbolically, esoterically, so you can use it by what? Practicing it. It don't mean nothing to know it. That's why Masons, we walk, talk, and act a certain way. And we don't solicit. I never ask nobody to be a Mason. Why? If you want to be one, you got to know one. Obviously, you like what I'm doing, I can teach you that. I'll show you that. That's why I was a teacher. Again, right thing, philosophy, same concept, same thing. I was going to do this with or without my help. I was to listen. I got to get this. Somebody got to learn this. So I got a platform. I'm using it to do just that. Just teach a philosophy, a concept. That's it. Moving on. Neberdjer means, again, all-encompassing. Neberdjer is closely associated with the divine Khepri. Khepri is the creator God, the morning, the first rise of Ra. He's the creator, the sustainer, and the solver. Generator, operator, and destroyer. That's what y'all got the acronym for God now. We didn't have that acronym. Again, same thing. Creator, sustainer, keeps it going, and dissolver. When this is all over, it go back into one again. That's the concept. Same thing. Just worded different. Same thing. I love my man say, as above, so below. He teach the Morse and he wear the fez too. That's my dude. Again, teaching is something that people who love to do. Those who doing it, I got no jealousy towards them. I got no animosity. I love what they're doing. Well, I do the same thing. I look at them and critique and say, yeah, you know. So again, out of respect, that's why. I'm not in competition with nobody. I'm serving God. I ain't got to worry about what else somebody else is doing. If he getting blessed, God bless him. Guess what? God blessing me. So why should I worry about what he doing or what he ain't doing? All I'm doing I'm supposed to do, that's what's important. That's self-knowledge. Know you first. And watch this. There are an Anuian Trinity, that's the first time, where, watch this, we will discuss shortly. I'm about to break that down for you coming up. Now, Khepri is the creator aspect of the divine. He is the one who creates the day, starts it off, and creates the cycle of time. Again, time and space. He starts it. And watch this. The scripture says, Neda a Khepri Jasef. That means the supreme being creates himself. Out of himself, he creates himself. Through what? Elements. Sun, fire, Shu, air, Tefnu, moisture, Geb, earth, Nu, heaven. Those are 5 elements that it ain't man. It's the principal elements that God set forth. Why? Because before the spirit could interact with the human being, he had to have all that stuff in place. That's conscious, all conscious. Spirit with conscious, you got God. You put a physical body, you got man. That's us. What's this? Now, the supreme being creates himself. Thus, Khepri is one. The one created him. He emerged out of his own form from the spiritual ocean, aka primeval ocean. We call it the noon. Y'all call it the abyss. And because if we say that Khepri was created, it goes on the question, who created, who created, who created? But we give you a simple definition of self-creation, so we had to deal with that concept. Moving on. And watch this. If we had to deal with who created Khepri, we had to have what? Ask the question, who created Khepri? Who created the one who God created Khepri? Again, it's an ongoing scenario. We stopped that a long time ago. And watch this. Who created the God? Who created the God? Who created the Khepri? Etc. See where we're going? Stop it. And this will not lead you to any endpoint. Around the mulberry bush, going nowhere. You don't find the absolute, the ultimate in that way. How you find it? The philosophy gives you what? A definitive answer, an absolute answer. Watch this. The one supreme being brought himself into existence out of that same primeval ocean, manifesting as the universe as we see today. That's the closing of God. You ain't going to see him. You'll see what his manifestations are. That's the universe. And in the spirit, in the flesh, that's us. Now, God is not, wait a minute, God is not very far, then now is she? He put that in there with the question mark. Is God male or female? Both. Stop with the nonsense. Move on. It's called androgynous. Okay? Left half is the female, right half is the man. That's how you split the brain into. There's two hemispheres to the brain, left and right. One thinks in the feminine, one thinks in the masculine. We just break it down so you can understand it. Half side of your brain ain't man, other half ain't woman. It's just concepts. Masculine, feminine, macho, feminine. And the man, we split that way. So when y'all think, because I'm a woman in a man's body, you're halfway. But psychologically, you got to use the other side of your brain to realize you are a woman and you just have male tendencies. That's fine. And go vice versa for the female. It's psychological. We should deal with it from that aspect. I see the clock. I got to wrap this up. It's going to be a two-parter right there. But where we at? Wrapping up down here. We talking about character. Oh, the question is God male or female? We gave him the male aspect. That's the right side of the brain. You want to see the female? Left side. How you thinking? You can think any way you want. You must understand what? Then that you are wearing God right now. What you mean? What are you talking about? Let me write this up for you. This is a good part. Those of you who are holding something, you're holding God right now. If you are sitting on God right now. If you are walking, you're walking on God. That's God right now. You're walking on God. If you are wearing shoes, yep, you're wearing God. If you're breathing, oh, that's even better. That's the first thing he put here, what we need to breathe. Consciousness. It's air, no? If you don't take in oxygen, air, for 4 minutes, you're going to lose what? Lose consciousness. So consciousness is in the air that we breathe. Little tidbit I got from my man KRS. I love that guy. He's a smart brother. Okay, he knows a lot of stuff. And he put it into his lyrics and words. That's educational. I like listening to everything he say is informative. So I push him. All right. If it's good, I'm pushing. If it ain't, I ain't messing with it. So KRS, good. He reigns supreme. He tell you knowledge reigns supreme. Everything he do is a purpose and reason. I love that guy. And watch this. If you're breathing God. We call him shoot, all right? But if your heart is beating, okay, that's God. Why? God's heart, and that is the heart that's beating, etc. You get where I'm going with this? You see the glory of this philosophy when, if it's correctly understood and practiced properly, it's a beautiful thing. Same thing with religion. When it's practiced properly, understood, it's a beautiful thing. Why? Because it's getting you where you need to go, to God. Consciously, do what? Energy, effort that you put forth. That's the reward. Ain't that hard? Wrap it up. And the loss of this, watch this, the loss of this ability is just what? A sorry affair for all those who miss it. They don't care. Remember, everybody got the same opportunity. Everybody don't get to the top. They already know that, okay? And watch this, the teachings, wrapping up with this one. The teaching, God is the father of beings. Again, father, male figure. Why? Protector, dominant. When you want the mother figure, that's why they got to have both. You can't have one without the other. I can't imagine not having my both parents. Why? I have both of them, so I can't even conceive when I'm not being around. That scared the hell out of me. So I understand from a mental concept, but I can't even imagine me being me. I'm moving on. Some things, if you haven't experienced, don't say you don't understand. No, you don't. You don't. You really don't. Only things I understand the things that I experience. I tell you that. So moving on. Again, God is the father of beings. Us. God is the eternal one. Hello. And infinite. And he endures forever. Will be and always will. We just come and go. The beings. He ain't went nowhere. He ain't did nothing. He's still here. God is hidden. Hello. And no man knows God's forms. We can surmise, conceptualize, and theorize, but nobody knows why. He's hidden. Where? You'll find out. No man has been able to seek out God's what? Likeness. You can't have likeness to spirit and consciousness. My man, I'm getting that from my man Deepak. And the information that these new scientists have, and this information, I already know that. I don't know what the hell it is, but I know just what he's talking about. From our ancients, they already knew all that. That's my point. That's the best part, okay? Not now. All right. But the idea is we all understood God a long time ago, but we acted more on it than just talking about him. Okay. He was a way of life. We practiced it. We lived it. That's what I'm trying to teach. A philosophy really work if we practice it. Moving on. And God is hidden to gods also, and to men alike. God's name remains hidden than the name. It is a mystery to what? His children, men, women, and even the gods. God's names are immutable. Everybody got a different name for God. Manifold, a bunch of them. And no one knows their number. Don't need to. Through God can be seen where? In form and in observation nature of God can be made at God's appearance. God cannot be understood in totality. Nope. God cannot be seen visibly with mortal eyes. Nope. God is invisible and inscrutable to gods as well as men. The only time you get to see God is when you cross over into the afterlife, because that's where he is, waiting for all those who can come and he'll greet you and open arms. Like they say, that's my son and my pride, whatever. That's the whole concept. It comes from here. God has been being God since he's been God. Everybody got a different concept and view, philosophy about it. That's fine. That's why I don't have a problem with nobody's stuff. I just got mine. I just give you mine and wrapping it up. The writing above are portions from the Egyptian book of coming forth by day, a.k.a. Pert M. Haru, or for some ignorance, Book of the Dead. Text from Kansu. And I'm going to stop right there. I'm going to start the next lesson. Lord Jesus. I'm having fun. See, I forget the time, but right now I'm teaching. So I'll be right back. I got some more for you. This is getting fun. Right, thanks. Hope you enjoyed the lesson. In closing, may you all live to be 100. Me, 100 miles a day. So I never know that my right thinkers will pass away. You see me again, I won't have a hoodie on. I'm about to go to my polo shirts. It's a little warm up in here.